All right, all right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm David Wilson, and we are live. So welcome. This is a pop-up BFF. So pop-up business funding forum. So your BFF for business funding. I am David Wilson, managing principal of FundUuP. At our company, we help small, mid-sized businesses get funding, both secured and unsecured, when traditional means are not available. All right, so we're going to be doing these periodically. We did one, I believe it was last week or so. And the whole purpose for these is to get you, the business public, the entrepreneurial public, those of you who follow me, and the friends, colleagues of those who follow me, the information they need to help run their businesses most efficiently and effectively. So one of the things that comes up, so it's various questions, various situations in that would be important for businesses to understand, specifically in the business funding space, which is where FundUuP operates. So hopefully today's short segment, and we're going to keep these to anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes, depending upon how many questions we get, depending on how many comments we get, depending on how many people join us. So we're on multiple platforms, so we're going to get comments and such from all over. So what we're going to talk about today is help. So the title is help. I have multiple business loans, and the daily payments are killing me. I have multiple business loans, and the daily payments are killing me. All right, so let's kind of start at the beginning and define that. So what does that mean? So you might hear the term MCA, you might hear the term merchant cash advance, you might hear the term short-term loan. So these all have to do with loans that are provided to businesses based on their cash flow, based on their revenue. So we provide loans like that. So we help these businesses when traditional means are not available. So that means there's a challenge with credit, a challenge with collateral. There is no, in this case, there is no collateral, or a challenge with time, either time in business or time in which the funds are needed, where you can't go to a bank and say, "Hey, we need this money." Then the bank is not able to help you. So what we're going to talk about today is what happens when you have more than one of these loans. So 2, 3, 4, or more stacked on top of each other, costing you X amount of money per week in payments, and sometimes X amount of money per day in payments. So get all the business owners have them come here. Even if you can't catch the live, you'll be able to share this with them if you think it can help. So let's check the comments. All right. All right. Some questions are coming in. Some of them are very similar. And then I'll get to this first one, and then we'll get back into the structure of how this all works. So the inquiry is about industry restrictions. The short answer to that is no, typically not, because once for our consolidation program to work, obviously you already have loans outstanding. So if you've qualified to have them, you'll qualify for us to consolidate them just based on industry. So that's not going to be a deterrent. All right, let's see what else is coming in. Okay, so a lot of questions about how many is too many. How many? I have 5. I have 4. I have 3. Well, the most I've ever seen is 9. It's 9, and so believe it or not, it was stacked right on top of each other, and it resulted in a daily payment of somewhere in the neighborhood of $400. So $400 per loan. So $400 per funding times 9. So $3,600 per day, 5 times a week, not including holidays. So that can be very, very burdensome. Let me tell you about how that happens, right? So the MCA, the business loan that we're talking about here, in and of itself is a very good solution for businesses who cannot get funding from banks and they need funding quickly. It's not always a bad situation that a business finds themselves in. Sometimes it's a good situation. They have to move quickly because they're going to buy a competitor. They have to move quickly because there's a piece of property available right now that they need to purchase. And if they don't move quickly, like in a week, then they can't purchase it, right? So these types of fundings are very valuable to the small business community. Sometimes, however, businesses find themselves in a position where they get funded, then they need another funding. Then they need another funding. They need another funding. And what ends up happening, they end up stacking 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's where the burden comes in. So, and it's hard. And it becomes, especially it's very important to know what the funding is going to be used for in your business. So these fundings should never be to have money in the bank, unless the money you need to have in the bank is going to be because the IRS is pulling it from your account to pay back taxes, or the state, or you have to pay a meals tax if you're a restaurant. We've seen situations like that. So that's what our money is really good for. So what we do, well, we'll get to the solution. Actually, what we do. Again, thanks for watching. I am David Wilson, managing principal of FundUuP. If you're just joining us, FundUuP helps small and mid-sized businesses get funding, both secured and unsecured, when traditional means are not available. We're talking about our MCA consolidation program. So the title, Help, I have multiple business loans and the daily payments are killing me. So we're talking about our solution at FundUuP, how we can help consolidate all of those payments. We talked about, I've seen up to 9 consolidated into one much smaller payment. Is much more manageable for the business owner, and helps them take those steps to get back up and running, get back to 100%, get back on their feet, so they're funding the business organically. All right. So a couple questions came in. Now, what if I am not current on one or more of the loans? Well, let's put these two together. So one is, what if I am not current on one or more of the loans? The other is, should I stop making payments in order to qualify for this program? The answer to both of those questions. So should I stop making payments? Ideally, no, you should not. So the fewer payments you miss, the better off you are in general in the alternative funding space. But if you can help it, you should never stop your payments. It makes it so much easier to qualify for our program. Also, avoid restructuring or lowering the payment directly with the funder. So it's going to make it trickier for us to help you as well. So what if I am not current? Same thing. You want to make sure you are current. You want to make sure all of that is in place, and that's when you bring us in to get the ball rolling on making those consolidations and lowering the payment. You can just go to our website, www.funduup.com. That's www. F as in Frank, U, N as in Nancy, D as in David, U, P as in Peter.com, and click on Get Pre-Qualified Now. And we can help you get started with the pre-qualification, with the consolidation program. So now, how do we help? So in short, we are going to take a look at all of the loans you have outstanding. We're going to evaluate them in terms of your payment history, make sure you're on time, make sure you're caught up. If there have been any missed payments, if there have been any reductions of payment, temporary reductions of payment, and then we're going to make an offer to consolidate all payments into one payment. So the example I gave earlier about the 9 loans that were outstanding, and that was the most that I had ever seen. So we turned that $3,600 a day, $3,600 a day payment into a $900 a day payment. And that was just, it was such a relief to the business owner. Such a relief because now, I mean, she's not making, she's putting $2,700 back into her pocket, into her business's pocket every single day. And that makes a huge difference when running a business, right? So now she wasn't worried about where her, how she was going to make payroll. She wasn't worried about how she was going to pay her suppliers. And she kept moving forward with something that was much more manageable. And, in her particular situation, she ended up, that was a successful relationship. So that was a complete payoff, and everyone was a winner. And her business today is doing better than it had ever done once she got out from underneath all of those loans. So again, I am David Wilson, managing principal of FundUuP. We're talking about multiple business loans that businesses have outstanding that are costing them per day, so much money that it's keeping them from running the business successfully, and how our consolidation program here at FundUuP helps turn all of those separate payments, all of those payments together, consolidates them into one that is much easier to afford. So if you or someone needs this type of help, can benefit from this type of solution, again, just go to www.funduup.com. That's our website. F as in Frank, U, N as in Nancy, D as in David, UUP as in Peter.com, and you can get signed up and get the ball rolling on how you can qualify for the consolidation program. All right, so this question, how much can you consolidate? How much can you consolidate? So keep in mind, let's be clear, the consolidation is not of the amount of the payment. The consolidation is of the total loaned amount. So that's the case, the total loaned amount. So for example, you have, let's not let's not make the math too complicated. I don't have my graphing calculator with me. So let's just say we have 4 loans outstanding with $500 daily payments for each loan. So that's $2,000 a day, $10,000 a week, 5 payments per week. So the consolidation is not $10,000. The consolidation is not $2,000. It's going to be the balance outstanding on those loans. So let's say each one is $100,000. So $100,000 times 4, $400,000. That's the amount outstanding. That's the number we're basing this answer on. So how much can you consolidate? So we can consolidate usually up to $1 million. And whatever those $1 million outstanding, and whatever those payments have to be. So in our example, that $400,000, we would come in and lower that payment and consolidate it to hopefully below, at least below 50% of what the business owner is paying now. So that's how it works. Um, that's how our process works. And then it's just smooth sailing from there. Now, what it appears to the business owner is they only have one loan outstanding, and they pay it, and they pay it successfully, and everything's great, and everything works out. That's it. So again, you're watching your our pop-up BFF, your pop-up business funding forum with FundUuP. Boy, that's a mouthful, huh? Your business funding forum with FundUuP. I am David Wilson, managing principal of FundUuP. If your business or a business you know of needs funding, you can just go to our website. It's scrolling below. We're speaking specifically today about multiple business loans that are costing business owners multiple weekly payments or multiple daily payments. That's what we're talking about today. We want to make sure we get through all the questions. It looks like we have, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. That's how it works. Remember, here at FundUuP, it is a zone of no judgment. So our job is not to judge why, how you got into this situation. Our job is simply to help, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to ask you some questions. We need information about all of the loans you have outstanding, payoff amounts for all of the loans you have outstanding, payment frequency for all of the loans you have outstanding, as well as the time, the date the loans were funded. If we have all of that information, we can put together a quote for you that will hopefully reduce that payment. So that's it. That's how it works. Again, you have our website. Go there, and that's how you get the ball rolling. Again, share this with a business owner you know if you think it'll help. It may not help today, but it might help next week. It might help next month. It might help next year. Then again, it might help today. So, well, that is about it. I thank you all for joining us on our BFF, the FundUuP BFF, the FundUuP Business Funding Forum. I am David Wilson, managing principal of FundUuP. We help small and mid-sized businesses get funding, both secured and unsecured, when traditional means are not available. Like, follow, share, and subscribe, and comment where appropriate. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time.